Hi, everybody. I hope that you are doing well on this beautiful Sunday, day before Memorial Day. Um, I hope you have fun plans for tomorrow. And if not, I hope that you can get some rest or do something fun for yourself. I don't know. I wanted to address something that I get asked quite often, which is, how did I not allow the people that hurt me to make me a mean or bad or angry, spiteful person? So I want to answer that question because I get asked it a lot. And my own therapist has even, I've had a few therapists in my life, and they've all basically said the same thing. Basically, like how they had no idea how I could go through everything I've been through and not let it make me angry or bitter or turn to drugs or alcohol or just so many of the other stereotypical things that victims and survivors unfortunately fall into. And apparently, I don't know. Like, I've just been told that this is just very uncommon for people to come through so much and still keep their kindness and compassion for others. So basically, I think it all goes back to when I was 8 years old. Now, mind you, at this point in my life, I had been molested. I had been beaten and tortured and a bunch of other things. I had not yet experienced rape and some of the other sadistic torture my stepfather would later subject me to. But regardless, I made this promise to myself at 8 years old. And I feel like this was the defining moment in my life that kept me aware of holding on to myself the best I could. I had a lot of things already taken from me, you know, my childhood, my innocence, because, I had been experiencing molestation. I had a lot of things already taken from me. And I remember being 8 years old, and I'm looking in the mirror in the bathroom. It was right after my mom had got done beating the crap out of me for something. I don't even remember what at this point, because it just happened so much. But I just remember standing there looking in the mirror and just looking at all the bruises and the welts and some of the bloody scratches, on my face and in my body. And I looked in the mirror and I looked deep into my own eyes and I said, I don't want to become these people. I don't want to become like her, is what I said. I don't want to become like her. I don't want to hurt other people. I don't want to be mean to other people. And I made a promise to myself that no matter what anybody did to me, no matter how much more I got hurt, no matter how hard they tried to break me, I was not going to let them take my kindness, my personality, my ability to care about other people, my empathy, basically. I couldn't control the things that they took from me, but I was not going to let them take my humanity. And even though I was 8 years old and I didn't really fully understand what all of that meant, I mean, I knew I didn't want to be my mom or be like my mom or any of the other people that had hurt me. And I knew that what was happening to me was wrong and unfair, and I just knew that I didn't want to be like that. I also had no idea how much worse things would get in the years to come. But regardless, that promise I made to myself that day while I was looking in the mirror at my 8-year-old self, that promise I made to myself that I was not going to let them take my humanity, somehow strengthened my mind in a way that despite what came to me in the future, despite the things that happened to me in the following years after I made that promise to myself, things that very easily should have broken me, should have easily taken away my humanity, my kindness and my empathy and my ability to be kind. Somehow I kept remembering that conversation I had in the mirror at 8 years old, and that promise I made to myself, and how I didn't want to turn out like the people that hurt me. And so no matter what people did to me, no matter how bad they hurt me, no matter what I went through until I left that house of hell, I somehow kept that promise to my 8-year-old self. And I don't know why that worked so well to help me hold on to my humanity, to keep my kindness and my compassion, and do not let these people take away me. You know, like I said, I had everything taken from me by the time I was 16. I had everything physically and almost mentally that people could take from you. I had everything taken from me. But they did not take my ability to care about other people. They did not take my kindness. They did not take the real me. Yeah, I have anxiety now. I struggle with depression and suicidal depression, and I do self-harm occasionally. I'm working on it. I've been doing it since I was 10. I've gotten a lot better, but It's still part of who I am. You know, their actions have caused changes to my personality and to who I would have been had I not experienced these things. But ultimately, they didn't really take myself away. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like they took everything that they could physically, for sure. But despite the damage they did to me mentally, I still pretty much am still the same person I was as a child. I just have some, some issues with anxiety and depression, CPTSD, and trauma related issues. But otherwise, I'm pretty much still the me I was. And they didn't take that from me. And I wish I knew exactly what it was so I could tell everybody that asked, what it was. And so those of you that are watching, if you're going through some hard times right now, if you are being victimized, or if you are a survivor, or if you're trying to help somebody who is a survivor, I wish I knew exactly what it was that helped me to keep my humanity and not turn into a statistical survivor with the typical drug, alcohol, or other issues. I mean, I already admitted I have self-harm issues. So I'm not perfect, obviously, but I wish I knew exactly what it was. And the only thing that I can honestly go back to is that day where I stared myself in the mirror and I made that promise to myself. And I made it so strongly and with so much meaning and strength behind it. And that is the only thing that I can honestly give credit for as to why the things I went through didn't completely break me. Because according to my therapists and other people I have shared my story with, I should apparently have been completely broken and would not have empathy, or definitely would have some sort of substance issue, or just not be the person that I am. And I really honestly feel very sad for the people that are unfortunately broken due to the things that have been done to them. And please understand, if you are watching this and you have survived some horrific thing that has changed you into a person that you didn't want to be, or you have substance abuse issues, or whatever, please understand that that does not make you any less worth being treated with kindness or respect. It does not make you any less of a human. It doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you any less, because the things that happened to you were so overwhelming that they changed who you were. You cannot control what happens to you. And a lot of times you cannot control how you react to it, and especially when it comes to a very traumatic event. And so I want you to work on forgiving yourself if this resonates with you and you feel like, you let something change you, or you've become somebody you didn't want to be because of something that happened to you, or whatever it may be. Please understand that it's not your fault that whatever happened to you caused you to change or to start using substances or whatever. Everybody copes differently. Everybody's brain is different and will handle things differently. Coping skills are always different for different people. You did what you had to do to cope with whatever happened. And that doesn't mean that you failed, and it doesn't make you a bad person. And the good thing is if you really feel like you are a bad person, if you really feel like whatever happened to you made you be somebody you didn't and don't want to be, or you're on a substance that you wish that you could quit, you can. There's help out there. You can always change who you are. It's hard, and it will take a lot of work on your part and a lot of willpower and therapy and whatnot. But you don't have to stay in that broken spot. You don't have to stay in that mind frame. If you are free, if you have survived what you've been through and you're safe now, if you want to change, you have all the power within you to do that. You can change, and you can, with help, become clean and sober. I'm not saying any of it's going to be easy, because it's not. Change usually takes a lot of work, but you can do it. You don't have to stay the person you don't want to be. And you can take control, and you can work on becoming who you want to be. And I know you can do it, because if you've made it this far, if you've survived, you're strong enough to be able to do it. Just because you fell into a bad spot or a bad state of mind or an addiction, it doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that was the way that you could cope at that time. But you don't have to stay there. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because, again, I get asked so many times how I went through all that and kept my humanity, and how I didn't let it destroy my entire life. However, it doesn't mean that there aren't things that they did break or permanently change. But overall, I've addressed these things through years of therapy, and I've worked on them, and I was able to change those things, and I don't have to look back. I can look back on them now, but I don't have to struggle with them anymore, because I made the choice that I also wanted to change those things as well. And Again, change is not easy, but it is possible. Anyway, stay safe, be blessed, and I hope that you are doing well and that you are as safe as you can be. And if you are not in a place where you are safe, I hope that you are able to find a way to get to safety and to begin your healing journey. My love to you all. Be blessed.